Hi, I'm Satheesh Krishnamurthy, Professor of Energy Technology. As we talk about the world challenging problems, what are all they? Energy security, water security, and the food security. All these major challenges needs a possible intervention coming from all the STEM subjects, that is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. I have carefully crafted new kind of series where the guest speakers and the experts from each and every country will be talking about the local challenges to address this bigger global issue. The world needs the skills in these areas to have a possible impact to address all these interactable challenges and hence the climate change.
This year's prize is about a rechargeable world.
Today, the Nobel Prize in Chemistry honored batteries, specifically lithium-ion
Two
batteries.
Americans and a Japanese researcher for their work in developing the
2019
lithium-ion
Nobel Prize in Chemistry.
Binghamton University has a Nobel Laureate.
John B. Goodenough, M Stanley Whittingham, and Akira Yoshida.
Distinguished Professor M Stanley Whittingham.
Stanley Whittingham, Binghamton University,
Stan
New York.
Whittingham.
Whittingham developed the first working lithium battery in the early 1970s, making possible a fossil fuel-free society.
This is something that the lithium-ion battery community has been looking forward to for the last several years.
Welcome with another series of STEM with Satheesh. Today, we are privileged and honored to have the most prestigious, coveted Nobel Prize winner, one and only Professor Stan Whittingham. I really welcome and honored to have you, sir.
Thank you.
So, this series is more about STEM education, and globally, the STEM education is critical not only for addressing climate change, but also for social well-being as well. And the STEM education caters all types of sectors, and how this STEM education can be enhanced and can reach the deeper society where it is not reached yet. So that is the principal idea of this series. So I would appreciate if you could quickly introduce yourself and then how passionate you are on STEM subjects, etc.
Right. So I'm Stan Whittingham. I got my education in Britain through age 18 in the school system, and then at Oxford from 18 I got my doctorate degree. So I'm brought up in the British system. Then I moved to the United States for the American system, which is quite different. So I had to relearn.
So that was in about 3-4 decades back. Am I right in understanding, or even more before?
Maybe 5 decades.
5 decades, yeah. Within US 5 decades, we are talking about adapting. So how difficult for you to adapt from British education to American education?
When I started teaching after 15 years in industry.
Wow.
So I had to go back and look at the textbooks, look at what level they were, and they were level of, I think, 15-year-olds in Britain. So below A levels, and they started very rudimentary. Myself, a chemist, had become extremely boring.
Yeah.
So I said, we're going to eliminate the first 150 pages of the book, and you will learn how to balance equations in your lab experiments, not listening to me.
Yeah.
Literally, so I said, we're going to talk about what atoms and molecules are and what energy is, then you'll understand why atoms react to form molecules.
Excellent. So you are going from the bottom up to the top.
Yeah.
In understanding, so going in a deeper understanding of the STEM subject. Am I right in understanding?
Yes.
But is that, what is the current state of STEM education in US and also globally?
My concern with present, that is a STEM education, hasn't really changed that much in the last 50 to 80 years. No, we need to change it. We've all got computers now that won't have them before. We've all got iPhones and equivalent. So we should use those devices. So I think the job of a teacher rule is to teach students how to understand things, how to learn for themselves, and not just be a talking head, and the students are supposed to just swallow the information and spit it back out.
It's more like a memorizing and spit it out.
Yes.
So that thing has to change. But is it the teachers or the whole ecosystems has to change? Like coming from the government bodies that they are setting the parameters.
Then you can't really have government bodies doing it.
Okay.
But no, in Britain maybe there's a central government body. In the United States we have 50 states. Then there's huge number of school systems within those states. Each one tries to set their own standards. Independent. Yes. And then the universities have their standards. And to some extent the professional society set those standards. But they're still in the old, I would say, archaic times. What are gases? What are molecules? What are liquids? No mention of solid. So when I taught University of Chemistry, I said, we're going to talk about solids. They're the most important thing because around us, you don't really need to know all these neat theories about physical chemistry, about molecules, not really about solids. Solids, we mix different number of atoms together. Doesn't have to be one of this, the three of that, or at least the four of that. So we need to get into the modern early way to talk about what's them for the you're lying at this. Now I'll try to use real example. It's a wild way. So why do you need to learn the ideal gas equation? For it's like you're designing a gas bag for a car. How many grams of sodium azide do you need to put in that gas bag to inflate it? Absolutely. So you will use the ideal gas equation to work that out. And as soon as they understand that, they get much more into it.
Yeah, I think this is very critical right from the school primary education till all the way. I think the barrier which we are talking about is like the problem solving aspects. With the living with the nature, how we can make this society better using science, technology and engineering rather than traditionally going the methods of advancing the calculus and the old rudimentary books knowledge. So I think, as you rightly pointed out, Stan, like the jobs which are available today may not be available tomorrow because the technology is developing really fast.
Yes.
So for that, the adaptability is key. So can you please explain how the teachers can adapt to the fast-moving technologies?
But I think they have to get at the forefront. Yeah, they don't have to start from square one. So I know some years ago at the University of Pennsylvania, teaching freshmen first year material science, they gave all the students bicycles. And they had to understand every component of that bicycle, why you had members here, how the brakes work, how the conch system worked. At the end of it, they gave the standard zap. The students did better than they'd done the fundamental work on the material science deck. Because they were involved, they got excited about what they're doing. And I think some universities now give them an old laptop.
Yeah.
Go into the laptop, what all the different components, why do they work?
Well, so I think you brought two key things here in our discussion. One is hands-on.
Yes.
Hands-on work is very important, not only for engineering, but also understanding the science and mathematics to it. So, and these days, because of the computer and the system modeling, the hands-on is getting reduced, and the COVID, has changed a huge role because people have gone into online education all the time there. So, how we can break this barrier? Is it, again, we're coming down to the systematic changes has to happen inside the school, we think?
I think to some extent, yes. I remember when my granddaughters were in the school system, no hands-on, until they got to the last 2 years, and they joined a robot club. And you feel like so they had to make the robots, and they were put into teams. Some made the robots, some did the software writing, and then had competitions. The different teams in their school, then they went to the championships and so on. But that's the first time they'd ever made anything, ever fixed anything. And they got really involved. I think that's what's lacking in education.
So it's more of like we need to call how to optimize the use of computer technology with the right balance between computers and the hands-on.
Right.
Am I right in understanding?
Yes.
Yeah. So that balance has to be created right at the school level, primary, secondary school levels, running up to college.
Yeah.
So, and can you also comment about I'm always passionate towards having a different genders, the gender participation, and also having genders from different cultures or part of the ecosystem. So in that case, what is your opinion on women in STEM in particular? And maybe your fascinating your batteries and energy storage. I see you as an energy man. And how do you see as women in STEM?
Well, certainly my most successful PhD students have been women. There you go, viewers. They're running big national lab programs in the US. They're tenured faculty, not in chemistry and mechanical engineering, but in chemical skills, materials does fit there. My last 3 PhD students were all women. So I think the women are interested in this area of climate change, renewable energy, batteries, all that, and clearly in the health area. It's now, I think, dominated by women. And certainly in the US, all women going to college, some of our men,
wow. So, why US is having a head than others in terms of leapfrogging this? Because I see that there's a huge depth in women in STEM in UK or even in other parts of Asia. I don't say Asia in general, probably India, one of the biggest. So, what needs the two US ahead above others?
But I fear to say it's not so much the women that charge ahead. I'm no longer interested. We're working hard and going into the physics and chemistry, that's say for engineering, we need for material. So I think the women see an opportunity there. In the US, you look at biology, psychology, we're totally dominated by women. Physics, not so much. Some of the engineering skills, material science is about at least 50-50. Chemistry is probably more than 50% women.
Yep. So that is a very encouraging news, particularly the US model.
There's no question that women are very interested, particularly in anything health related. If you look at climate change, renewable energy, it's more and more women are getting into that field rather than men. They see that to be an important field. If you're talking about in-depth physics, high-level engineering, math, it's male-dominated, not women, but I would say where the women can see something really relevant, important, and we can say, no, you have a greener environment, you've got a cleaner environment, a healthier environment, and women associate with that.
Yep, absolutely. And there are, you travel worldwide because of your energy enthusiasm towards the knowledge and seeking of knowledge. You're passionate towards that. Even you are too as well, still because of your energy dynamics. So I would like to ask you to the futuristic generation. This is particularly for the 8 to 16-year-old or 17-year-olds. And what is their futuristic perspective which you would like to give them the advice? What do they need to do in order to make the world a better place to live in for the generation rather than focusing on changing the careers?
I think that they're excited about what they're doing, understand the real challenges facing society, and then educate first their parents, then their neighbors, and eventually educate the politicians. We can't tell politicians what to do. We can give them advice. And I think they tend to listen to women maybe more than men. So no, we got to get them deeply involved. And so, given the challenges, I think they want to take them on. They're more willing to do things sometimes than men.
Absolutely. And coming back to your own baby, the battery. So what would there are many people asks me over my part of the journey, what gets you Nobel Prize? So can you explain to the viewers, is it a standard formula or it's more of the passion to it? They would like to hear most of you.
I don't think you can plan a career to get the Nobel Prize. You've got to be passionate about what you're doing. That have all the cards you like for the right place. So you think that get the opportunities, you take advantage of the opportunities, and you charge ahead and do something different to what everybody else is doing. So you can make your mark. But You can't plan to get a Nobel Prize or any of these big prizes. You've got to be in the right place at the right time and be willing to take challenges and not be afraid of challenges. A lot of folks, when the conservative went, I'll do this, I know where I'm going. Do something different.
Yep, that's absolutely true. But do something different. And yet, as you can see, Stan is still energetic in this hot roasting sun. Even everybody's sweating, he's still energetic because of the passion he has towards the younger generations. Stan, as you said, the Nobel Prize is a journey, or nobody targets the Nobel Prize at all, to be honest, no, because it's serendipitous. And throughout your journey, you will have faced ups and downs in your career, like any other.
Right.
So how do you charge yourself when you go into the low of your career, and then what makes you to come out of that barrier?
I think every career has hurdles you jump over. Sometimes you get over and sometimes you get stuck. And so I tell my students, have 2 projects at all times. You get stuff on one, you can work on the other. Mm-hmm. But I worked in a corporation. So we invented lithium battery, but then I got into management, went out to lithium battery business for 8 to 10 years. But then came back and was revitalized. So now it's, how come this hasn't happened? How come that hasn't happened? Let's try to make those things happen. So I think it always got some sense, get away from your main discipline for a while, do something totally different. Manganese, chemical engineering, and refining, mining projects for a while. Nothing to do with batteries. And when I came back and I said, hey, I got fresh thoughts about batteries, let's don't do it.
Wow, this is something really interesting. So, as people often talk about interdisciplinary, so learning, that is why we always say that the best teachers are best learners and seekers of knowledge. And as you can see that Stan has kind of evolved in a round circle where he started learning different things. Those are the forming as a big, close, rounded sideways, where you learn different skills and how you package into making it a much bigger and effective, coherent way to understand deeper and deeper knowledge into world challenging problem. And probably started you maybe it really well in your career, we really acknowledge that. Another question about the batteries, it's simple to ask is actually, this is a burning question that lots of people are asking, well, is that battery chemistry is safe or the battery design is safe? I often think that battery chemistry is safe, but I want you to explain to the audience that with the battery chemistry, what is the problem in the battery?
So let's take one step back. Energy is inherently unsafe. You got energy stored, doesn't matter whether you're standing on top of a mountain, might fall off, whether it's gasoline, petroleum in the gas tank, or chemical energy in a battery. Something goes wrong and we go, let's go at one time. You're going to have something bad happening. So you just have to control it, which means you've got to have good chemistry. Like you've got to have even better manufacturing and protective circuits. I think so something starts to go wrong, cut it off before it really goes badly.
And the battery economics and the whole cycle chain for the big areas in the battery, the whole world goes into electric. Do you think that we have enough minerals and the capacity to make electric completely?
The answer was completely or 80%. You would go conservative after weight. It doesn't mean, for example, that batteries are the same on every continent. So I've said some in North America, LSP might win out. We got lithium in North America, we got iron, we got phosphorus, and we got optimum. So no, we can make the batteries and materials we can control. And we don't have to spend 60 to 80 kilowatt hours of energy to make those patents. In areas of the world, maybe Asia, where there's plenty of nickel, so they may end to go towards more nickel. But right now they're going LFP as well. So I think you'll find that chemistry is a little different on different customers. Depending on what's available there, which we all learned through COVID and global supply chains But one country has say more the harm of the supply just doesn't work. So we have to go beyond that, goes for the security and just the energy to produce. Yes.
So, in your perspective, in order for us to address various global challenges, be it water, food security, energy security, and also agriculture. So there are lots of challenges which we are facing. Yes. Underpinning them for real is still knowledge and strength of care. So how critical we need to, is it the time we already fast, or we still have time to catch up if we are able to get the party of graduates to solve this problem?
We can always catch up. Humans have always evolved themselves, thousands of years ago. Climate change may come, areas may flood, people will move, animals will move, and we'll come up with new technologies to solve the problems I'm sure about. So really, we have to look after food, water, and energy are the three key things. We have to be on top of those three and not have wars over them.
Like so it does. And with this excellent message from Stan that technology, we don't need to worry too much about this, but we need to equip ourselves for the evolving technology and make sure that the graduates and the scientists we produce has to stay in the similar areas to make it slightly bigger and more impactful. And with this episode, I really once again thank Professor Stan Whittingham for his time and energy and enthusiasm to support this program. Thank you so much, Stan. Pleasure in meeting you. Thank you to have you here. Thank you.